I just got some sad news. One of my nephews on my wife's side of the family, Charles Clark. I think he was born about 57 or 58. He was just a kid when me and my wife got married. Well, he's passed away. And he recently told me, he said he wanted me to know that he always looked forward to the summers when he could go stay with Uncle Russell and Aunt Sue. I spent a lot of time with that boy, and he drank a lot. And when my daughter come in and told me a while ago that Charlie passed away, and the first thing I said, well, I'm not surprised. Because I don't know how he got started drinking. His dad was an alcoholic. That was Lloyd. But I don't know if that had anything to do with Charlie being that way or not. But I had a lot of good times with Charlie. One time we was fishing, and we was on the bank of the Nantahala River at what we called the abutments, but it was the dam. And we was fishing, and we was throwing, casting out into the lake there and stuff, and had put me a big old gob of worms on the hook, night crawlers. And Charlie was back there behind me somewhere. And I started to cast off, and somehow or another that gob of worm and that hook caught Charlie in the back of his head. I went, yang, and it stopped like that, and all of a sudden I heard Charlie, ah! Bless his heart. I looked back there, and he had a hook stuck in his head with that big old gob of worms hanging there. Oh my gosh. And he loved my wife's cooking and the pies and cakes she made. And if ever want a pie made, he'd come up behind her. She'd be in there cooking, and he'd come up behind her and go, pie, pie, pie. I used to irritate her so bad. But Charlie, I know a lot of things about him that I don't even think his parents knew. His mother's name was Gay, and she's still living. His dad's not. I hadn't seen him in years, but I'm gonna miss him. Because every once in a while we'd make contact, on Facebook and stuff. But I'm thinking if he was born in 58, 58, 68, 78, 88, 98, 2008, 2018. He was about 63, 64 years old. He had a sister, and that was one. That girl, she was terrible. She even took her children shoplifting with her at one point. She was in the military, in the Army. I think she probably got out on a medical discharge. She never went, the furthest away from home she ever went in the Army, she went somewhere in Texas. And then I caught her doing stolen valor. In other words, she had been in the military, but she was claiming she was a Purple Heart veteran, was wounded in Vietnam. She never left this country. And, but that was Charlie's sister. And she got into drugs and stuff while she was still in high school. And I'll tell you something else she did to me. She did not like my my sister-in-law, Annie. She did not like him or like her. And when she found out that I had sold that property or sold my part of the place up in North Carolina, my wife's mother's home place, I had it notarized and everything, and I sold it to Annie. And she went into a tirade. She was calling me everything in the book, and just why didn't I let her offer it to her? Well, to start with, she ain't got a pot to pee in. She couldn't buy a gallon of gas if it was 10 cents a gallon. It never occurred to me that she even wanted it. Well, she couldn't. What could she do? She didn't have anything. And she's still doing drugs. But then she sent my daughter a message and it's blessing me out and everything, and told my daughter that I had been molesting her all her life. And this is a kid that spent a lot of time with me and my wife. A lot of time. But that's what she told my daughter. And I called her mama up, and I called Charlie up too, and I said, guess what your daughter's accusing me of? Well, they knew. She's always coming up with lies anyway, so nobody believed it for a second. And her and Charlie did not get along. But I have good memories of her up to a certain point, till she started doing stuff like shoplifting and lying about stuff. But Charlie, me and him was buddies. I loved that man. And he used to be so silly back when he was, back before me and my wife got married. My wife was babysitting him and his sister. I just remember that. And they used to drive my wife up the wall. They'd start giggling and cutting up and stuff while she was babysitting them. But now Charlie's gone. And I looked at my wife and I said something. I guess I shouldn't have said it. I said, I wish it had been Donna, his sister. And I still got to say, and it might be mean and ugly to me to say it, I wish he was still here and she was the one gone. I'm gonna miss that boy. Gosh, one time he was spending the summer with me and my wife, and my wife's baby sister, Annie, had to have a place to stay temporarily. So she was staying with us, plus Charlie was there with us too. His sister wasn't there. But we was doing something, and I was trying to get something I was trying to get Charlie to do something. I can't remember what it was that he was trying to do, or I was trying to get him to do. And he kept doing it wrong. And folks, I'm not perfect. And I hollered at him. I said, "You fool." I called him a fool. And Annie heard that, my baby's sister-in-law, and I love Annie to death. And when she picked up a Coca-Cola bottle, a little, I guess they're about, what, 6 ounces, something like that. I forget what size them things are. Let's see, what is this? This is 16. Oh, it's half the size of this. It's a Coca-Cola glass bottle. She picked that bottle up and threw it at me. If it had helped me, it'd have killed me. But it went right by my head. Annie remembers it, but Charlie never did. He didn't remember it. Once in a while, I remember telling Annie she dodged a murder charge if that thing had hit me. And I told Charlie every once in a while, I said, you about got me killed. And Charlie, gosh, buddy, I'm gonna miss you. One time, there's this place, it's called the Cosby Place. And it's up the mountain, it's up and over the mountain and up another mountain. And the Cosby Place, it's an old house place, barns and all that stuff, but it's completely abandoned now. I don't know if it's still even standing or not. And every once in a while, he wanted to go up there and get some chestnut wood beams out of that log cabin and bring down a beam. And he had to have me go with him. And he was a lot better shape than I was. He could go up and down them mountains. He was a mountain hoocher. I was a mountain hoocher wannabe. That boy wore me slap out going up to that place. I mean, it took 2 hours to walk there. But he made some fine gun cabinets out of that chestnut and stuff. And he was a what do they call them guys that they reshoe horses and everything? I forget what they even call them now. And Charlie had a shortcoming. His daughter, Jessie, married a black guy. Oh, pain in behind my eye. Married a black guy, and she's got racially mixed kids. Charlie never accepted those grandbabies. Never accepted them. That he might have in the last part of his life. If he did, I don't know about it. I know she called talking to my daughter this morning. She was really upset that he'd passed. I don't know if his daughter would get his house placed or not. He's got a farm. It's not a working farm, but he's got his house on it and farmland. And he inherited that from his aunt. His aunt was and got it from his grandmother, and of course Charlie got everything when his aunt died. So I don't know. I'm gonna miss Charlie. I sure did love that red-headed rascal. If he just never got started on that bottle, but it wasn't hard liquor that he was drinking so much of. It was beer. And he used to always brag about how much beer he could put away in 2 or 3 hours. And his health wasn't doing good either. But here's to you, Charlie. I'm gonna miss you, buddy. Hadn't talked to you in a while. Lord have mercy. Keep losing people. And I guess if I keep living, I'll keep losing them.